Hello, my name is Jojo and welcome to the Littlest Book Corner. Today I'm going to be doing a quick book review of a picture storybook, and that book is Waiting for Winter by Sebastian Meschenmoser. This has been one of my favourite winter finds. It truly is the perfect winter book to just snuggle up with your little bookworms under a blanket and enjoy. As you can see, even just by looking at the front cover, it's a little bit special. These sketch-like illustrations, you just know it's going to be very unique and very beautiful. On a more practical note, it is a hardback book and it is recommended for ages 2 years upwards. And this story follows along this cute little squirrel who has never seen snow before. And he is determined this year that rather than going into hibernation, he is going to keep himself awake and look out for this thing called snow. So we'll just take a little look inside, and as you can see, the illustrations remain the same. The sketch-like, very beautiful. It really reminds me of when I was a kid reading The Wind in the Willows. For some reason, I get that same kind of emotional connection. There's something about it that I feel like these illustrations make even the trees have personas. Like, it feels like everything is alive, and I just love that. It makes it feel a bit more magical and mysterious, and so that's something that really stood out to me from these illustrations, and they're just beautiful. So you can see there's not a lot of text on every single page, and when there is, it's oftentimes different sizes, which is great also for new readers. It's a bit less intimidating and can make it more fun for them to read along. And the other thing that I love about this story, as you'll see, is there's humour to it. So here's the squirrel trying to keep himself awake, and he's trying to think of all the ways that he can do that. And so I think one of my son's favourite pages, my 2-year-old son, he loves this page. He thinks it's hilarious because this is where the squirrel is trying to do some exercise to keep himself awake. And we just have so much fun following him around the tree, chasing around this tree. And I think where there's less text, it actually gives you the opportunity to look more at what's going on in the picture and have more discussion and make it your own, really. And you can kind of change it up a bit every time you read it. And you can see here with his efforts at staying awake, he's woken up one of his friends who's also decided that he wants to stay awake and see what snow is as well. And so the story basically goes on like that. But the only problem is when neither of them have seen the snow, they don't know what it is they're meant to be looking out for. So they have this description. Squirrel has a description from his buddy the deer, who's told him that it's cold, it's wet, and it's white. So they're looking out for items of that description. And there's Bear, who's woken up as well, and Hedgehog finds a toothbrush. And so this is kind of a fun time when you read out, Hedgehog found it, white and wet and cold. It's the very first snowflake. Winter will be wonderful when it snows properly. And here we are imagining snow of toothbrushes falling from the sky. And that humorous element somehow reminds me of Winnie the Pooh. So it really does have beautiful illustrations, gorgeous storyline, but it's also pretty funny as well to read through. And then at the end, of course, the snow really does begin to fall, and it's just really, really sweet. And it just ends up on this last page with them all cuddled up, falling to sleep together. So I also think this makes a really great bedtime read. It's such a good way to wind down your little bookworms at the end of a cold, frosty day. If you were wanting to take this a step further and do an activity alongside it, for teachers even, a good idea, maybe before or even after reading this, is talking about items that they have that could be cold or wet or white, like maybe creating a list or them drawing things that match that description also. So there are ways that you can make this a bit more interactive as well. But I just personally think it's a beautiful winter story to enjoy with your little bookworms, and with lots of cuddles and laughs and talking and interaction. And that's it from me from my quick book review on Waiting for Winter. Thanks so much for watching, and if there are any other books that you would like to see me review, please go ahead and comment below. And I hope that you will join me again for another episode here at the Littlest Book Corner. But in the meantime, keep your little ones reading. Goodbye! If your little one loved this book, you can get your very own copy by clicking on the link below to my Osborne Books and More page. Details on this week's Facebook Live Storytime can also be found below. Don't forget to connect with us on social media for storytime, giveaways and more. Thanks for watching!